Welcome back to your new favorite fantasy football podcast. This is the Allegedly podcast, and we still have our guest host, Los Brooks, in the house. We appreciate you being here, Los Brooks.
Thank y'all guys for having me, man.
And
What's up, Coach?
this is the second part of our Myrtle-Cherry fantasy football game of the week, Coach Spotlight. The game of the week is 438 Special versus the Coke Boys, and in this episode, we got the coach of 438 Special, Coach Shake Snyder. Coach Shake Snyder, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing pretty well, man. Pretty well. How y'all guys doing?
We are
What's up, Coach? What's up, Coach?
We are happy to have you here, man, for this interview, man. You got your team off to a pretty hot start, man. You're 2-0. You faced two quality opponents in walking on air and get a TO, baby, and you came out victorious. How do you feel about your team, man? What's the feel around the locker room these days as y'all got off to this hot start?
We're feeling pretty good. I mean, just trying to stay relatively healthy. That's the main thing. Make sure all our ducks is in the line as much as possible, man, and just try to take it week by week.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that. Healthy teams, man, that's usually the teams that are around at the end of the season. We got Los Brooks in here as a guest host, and I know he got a solid question for you, man. What you got for him, Los?
What's up, Coach Jack, man?
What's up, Coach?
So look, you got two high-profile players that kind of had a down week last week. You know, I'm talking about Dak for the Cowboys, and Kamara had a down week also, but you still was able to sneak out the win. So I want to ask you how you feel about being able to win with two of your top players not performing at a high level, and your expectations from this week in a big game against Coach Williams.
Okay. To the first part of your question, it's very fortunate to get a win like that. You know, other guys that I drafted stepped up in a major way in the week that we really needed them to. You know, Dak coming off an injury, he's going to have games like that. Kamara with a new quarterback, he's going to have games like that. So we just need to be able to weather the storm. And I feel like I built my team to be able to have those games and come out with a win. Now, going forward, we don't need him to do that immediately.
Right.
With that Monday night, it's going to be a tough matchup. I mean, obviously, it's a division game, but I like the chances of route running to a T. And Kamara, I mean, facing Belichick, you know, anytime you face a guy like Belichick, it's going to be hard because he's going to take away what you do best. And obviously, the Saints run the ball best, you know. So obviously, Kamara's a must play. So there's no talk about sitting him. We just hope he comes out on the best end of that stick, you know.
Yeah, that's good, Coach. And I think he could. And to your point about Amari Cooper, I think he has no injury designation, so he could be out there with Dak Monday night, and that would be a big plus.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. This Ink Spot. I got one for you. I was looking in your lineup and I seen that you had Mike Williams at your wide receiver one.
Mike Evans.
Two. I'm sorry. Yeah, Mike Evans. I'm sorry. Yeah, and he's facing Jalen Ramsey this week. And we also know that you got a trade that went through this week to receive Chase Claypool. And being with the Deontay Johnson injury, we were just wondering if you was going to play Mike anyway, or are you looking at Chase Claypool could get some more targets being that Deontay Johnson is hurt? We're trying to kind of get behind the scenes. What you thinking, Coach?
About Mike Evans, he's a very pivotal part of my foundation. We went out to get him with our third pick. We wanted him. So with that being said, we respect Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, the Rams are my defense. So that's a whole nother decision I have to make. We game plan for Mike Evans playing and for Mike Evans to possibly sit. But Mike Evans is our star receiver. We like him against anybody in the league. We like his quarterback situation against anybody in the league. So also with even though Deontay Johnson's not playing, you got to take in consideration that Antonio Brown is not playing either on the other side. So
Right.
target shares will either stay high. I also noticed something in the Rams defense that they kind of move Ramsey around now. He's not necessarily always on the number one receiver. They like to put him in the box to come up and help tackle as well. So hopefully they do move him around, have him on Godwin here and there. We could kind of free Mike up here and there. So with that being said, more than likely I'll be playing Mike Evans tomorrow.
Okay, coach. All right. Good to have that insight from you.
Oh yeah, yes, sir.
It's always a tough decision when you facing off on a top tier cornerback like that. So we know we understand.
Oh yeah, Michael.
All right. So yeah, I got another question where I'm gonna kind of let you talk about this guy that I know you're very high on. So you got the Raiders. They averaging 458 yards a game right now, which I mean that got to be a surprise to everybody because I mean that leads the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest part of that offense that's averaging those yards a game is Darren Waller, and he's by far the guy over there. So with them averaging that many yards and you having him, like I believe that's a real strong part to your team, and that's probably what can get you over the top. So I'm gonna let you talk about that pick and how you feel about him right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, some coaches in the summer we bounce these ideas off each other, and I think a couple of them kind of knew that I was really high on him coming into the season. So, but yeah, we really like Darren Waller, man. We look at him as our number one receiver. Yes, he's considered a tight end, but in fantasy, it's about production, and he catches passes just as much as any receiver in the league. So we wanted to have that on our team immediately after we drafted Alvin Kamara, just to have that 1-2 punch. Would you say in the receiving game? Because obviously Alvin Kamara is a great receiving back. This is a PPR league, so we wanted to take full advantage of that. Darren Waller is a specimen. He's a heck of an athlete, and he's very, very pivotal to what our success should be.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Just to piggyback real quick, to throw it out there, how does it feel to have that security blanket at tight end? Just knowing that you don't have to worry about that every week.
I would expect that question from you, because I mean you are Mr. Tight End, and I kind of got tired of streaming tight ends, man. That could be you winning the game by 12 or losing by 2. That could be the determining factor. And I wanted to have a dominant tight end this year, along with a dominant running back, and hopefully a dominant receiver. I wanted a dominance at each level of fantasy football, and so far I think I've done that. Obviously, Mike had a shaky first week, but he bounced back with 2. This week is going to tell a tale, but I like having that dominant tight end. It's something you don't really have to worry about going into a week against someone. You look like this week. I have Darren Waller and he have Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan is in a great situation, but I like my chances. Yeah. I have Darren Waller.
Yeah.
So there's only one other guy that I really, really fear going up against Darren Waller, and I played him last week, and he did tremendous as well.
So let's talk about this week, man. You 2-0. You're traveling to William Street. You're going into the Coke Palace, and it's flashy down there, man. They gonna have on their linen. The roof gonna be down. And you're facing a 1-1 Coke Boys team coming off a tough loss last week. They're gonna be excited to play, man. When you sat back this week with your coaches and you turned on the film, what did y'all discuss that you just had to stop, man, on the Coke Boys? What's out there that just kept you up at night this week when you watched the film?
I mean, if anybody playing against Tyreek Hill, you already know. Anytime he steps on the field, that's one scary mofo, like the old guys would say. But it's really Kyler Murray as well. I mean, Kyler Murray has a tremendous matchup against Jacksonville this week. We have him in another league, but we're willing to let him dud so I can win in this league. I mean, I want to win this league. So, but I think I think I said this in the draft recap about Coach Boys and Coach Courtney Williams. I think this is his best team he's had since he's been in the league. This is a very explosive team. Chubb at the running backs, that's rough. That's tough to go against with Tyreek, AJ Brown, and obviously Kyler Murray with Chase Edmonds. He has those connections. So I mean, his team is really, really good. But I like my chances against his team for sure.
Nice.
All right, Coach, that's leading right into what I had to ask you, being that it's a division game as well. How important is it to get this first win, knowing that, I mean, it's two explosive teams, you know, both of them probably go down to the wire. How important is this first one?
I mean, it's very important. I mean, obviously, because it's the next one. You know, we try to take this week by week. I like my explosiveness on my team. I mean, and I have to watch his. So I think it's definitely going to be a high-scoring game. I also feel like quarterback play is going to probably be the deciding factor of this team. I mean, Kyler Murray has a good matchup, and Dak has a challenge, I feel like, because obviously Philadelphia's secondary has improved tremendously. But I like Dak, CD, and Amari pretty much against anybody in the league as well. So I think it's going to come down to who has the better game out of Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott.
All right.
And it's sure shaping up to be a good one. You got out to a nice start with DJ Moore on Thursday night, scoring the 21 points. So we're excited to see what the rest of it, what the rest of the day is going to bring tomorrow and on into Monday, man. Y'all got an exciting game coming up. Any last things you want to share with us before we get you out of here?
Yeah. Good luck to Coach. But I know he probably expect me to not talk shit, but I'm gonna tell him right now, I'm gonna beat his ass.
Okay, we love it. We love it. We love to have those drops here on on the Allegedly podcast, man. And that wasn't allegedly; he put that out there. So there's no better way to end this episode, Coach. We appreciate your time this afternoon. We know you got to get back to your team. Good luck to you. Hopefully everybody turns out safe. Man, y'all go out and give us a good one this week, man. We expecting fireworks out of this game. It's two of the best teams in the league right now.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
We will have you back too, Coach. Looking forward to you, especially after that last comment. We will have you back.
We appreciate the time, man. Peace.
All right.
Peace.